Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is well. I got a couple of messages from a couple of friends asking me about what do I think about the Birkin as well as Kelly, and also asking about whether which sizes they should be choosing and what styles, whether it should be a Retourne or Sellier styles of the bag that they should be looking at as their first bag. As I look online on the various videos from various other friends, I did see that there's been a couple of videos already out, or there's been a lot of videos actually out there comparing Birkins and Kellys, and comparing Sellier versus the Retourne, as well as comparing the various sizes amongst one type of bag. But I think there's not a lot of videos pulling all this into one. So I thought in today's video, it'd be good for me just to do a summary of my thoughts on what do I see as whether I prefer the Birkin or Kelly, and what would be the various styles, right? Be it Sellier or Retourne, the various things that you should be considering, as well as the sizes. And in terms of sizes, I'll focus on two most popular size. For the Birkin, I will just focus on Birkin 25 and Birkin 30. And for Kellys, I will focus on Kelly 25 and Kelly 28 instead of just covering all the sizes, because these two are the typical struggle, I would say, for all the girls out there, or and all the bag lovers out there, whether they should be doing playing between the 25 or the classic 28 for Kelly, or the classic 30 for Birkin. So let me start with the Birkin. As you can see, the Birkin versus the Kelly, from the look of it, it may look pretty much similar. There's the buckle in front, and then the shape, etc., may not look very different. However, one of the key difference that you'll be able to pick up between the Birkin and color is that the Birkin actually has two handles versus the Kelly, which has one. The Birkin that I'm actually showing here is the Birkin 25, and then the Kelly that I'm showing is the Kelly 25. Okay? So the Birkin, first coming to Birkin, the Birkin that I have is actually Birkin 25 in deep blue color, gold hardware, and in Novino leather. Novino leather is very similar to toga leather. I did have a separate videos talking about this leather and this bag, which I will not go in more details today. So the Birkin bag. So one thing I really like about the Birkin versus the Kelly is that the Birkin, if you carry a Birkin, everyone knows that it's Birkin. It's just such a classic bag. But to me, a Birkin bag is more of a tote bag, in the sense that, as you can see, now I'm trying to open it. I intentionally started flipping the bag closed so that you can see, just to open it, it takes quite a little effort, given that there's actually 3 flaps that I need to work on. So the standard style that, or a typical way that most people will wear their Birkin, is to leave it open as like a tote bag. Okay. So as you can see, the difference between a Birkin and Kelly, as I mentioned, is 2 handles, and that is actually no strap. So a Birkin 25 or a Birkin 30 or any of the Birkin bags, you will need to carry them either handheld, or you can actually carry it like this, basically on your arms. The key difference that I find between a Birkin 25 and a Birkin 30, one of the pros of getting a Birkin 30 is that the Birkin 30 is is a pretty classic size. It's much a bigger bag, so you'll be able to put much more, and it's a standard classic size, as in, I know now Birkin 25 is very popular, but in terms of Birkin 30, that's a classic size that no matter whether it's big bags or small bags, it will never go out of style. And one key biggest advantage of a Birkin 30 is that the handle here is actually much bigger, so you'll be able to carry it all the way to the crook of your arms. For me, because my hands is not really that big, or my arm is not really that big, so I don't have an issue pulling that in. But as you can see, it is actually much tighter versus if it's a Birkin 30, I will be able to carry it on the crook of my arm much more comfortably. But to me, this Birkin 25, it doesn't, the fact that, it only goes here up to my just slightly above my elbow does not actually bothers me. But if it does, then Birkin 30, you should really look at Birkin 30 versus Birkin 25. Yeah, as you can see, it takes a little bit of effort to actually take it out. Um, so for most people, if you have a slightly bigger arm, they will actually carry the Birkin 25 actually as a top handle handheld bag, which means regardless of whether you carry it on a crook or up your arm or you carry it like this, you can't really go absolutely hands-free versus say a Kelly, which you will have the strap. Okay, um, so if you're the type that prefers to would want to actually store more things, as well as, you want to have carry it much more comfortably at the crook of your arms, I would then suggest that you go with a Birkin 35. Oh, sorry, a Birkin 30. Um, the the reason why I did not choose a Birkin 30, and rather I know for sure I want a Birkin 25, it's not so much of the small bag craze. Rather, I have carried a Birkin 35 before, and I find that it's really too heavy. That puts me off in carrying the bag. And that's the reason why, I know very sure, to me, the number one consideration is the weight. And the Birkin 25 weight suits me perfectly. And in terms of the amount of things that I can put in the bag, the Birkin 25 enables me to put all my essentials, including the Kelly, the long wallet, the classic size Kelly wallet that can be placed very comfortably in the Birkin 25. So a couple of considerations, if you're looking for a big bag and you want to store more things, go for Birkin 30. If you want a bag that is classic, regardless whether the trend is a big bag or a small bag, go for a Birkin 30. If you want to make sure that you can carry things very comfortably at the crook of the arm, go for Birkin 30. However, Birkin 25 would be for you if you want something that looks nice, that can transition easily from day to night. Birkin 25 is the bag that would enable you to actually dress and carry it very casually with a casual look. And you can also actually dress it up because it's actually a much smaller bag. Also, if you do not, or you just need to carry your bag essentials, including a long wallet, Birkin 25 would be more than sufficient for most people to carry their day-to-day stuff. Also, the fact that if you have a much smaller bag, it would be much lighter, not just from the weight of the bag, but also because it's a much smaller bag, so you would tend to actually put less things in your bag. And that's also my tendency. If I'm a big bag, I tend to stuff my bags with more things, versus when small bags, I would then be more selective on what I put in. So a Birkin 25 actually works perfectly for me because it just needs to fit my essentials. And at the end of the day, it would not be a heavy bag for me to carry. And of course, it looks cute and good and pretty proportionate. I know a lot of folks may say that Birkin 25 looks like a toy. To me, I think it depends on how tall you are and your size. For me, I'm 164, and it does not look awkwardly small on me. I think it looks pretty proportionate on me, and I really, so far when I carry this bag out, receive tons of compliments, and no one actually says that it looks disproportionate. Okay? The Birkin now comes in the Sellier style, as some of you may have known. All bags, the Kelly bags actually have the Retourne and the Sellier styles. Birkin bag used to only have the Retourne style. The Retourne style is essentially where you have the outside piping, so the bag is turned inside out, which gives it a more relaxed look. And of course, the downside is that it would actually sag over time. As you can see, I got this bag maybe for slightly more than 6 months. And and of course, this is Nogino leather is a much softer leather than Togo. You can already see that it is not as structured. Versus if this is a Sellier Birkin, it would be a very structured bag. But for me, I think a Birkin bag, this is really the classic style for the Birkin bag, where it's actually the Retourne. So, I would not actually consider Sellier styles for Birkin. But again, this is a personal preference, whether you would like a structured look even on a Birkin, or you would like to have a more relaxed look. And relaxed look doesn't mean that it cannot be dressed up or you cannot actually bring it for functions or night events. But depending on the hardware as well as the accessories you put on, even by changing the tweedies or by choosing the hardware like gold hardware, which would surely look more formal than the palladium hardware, that would sort of enables you to make it and to transition it from a day to night much better. Okay, moving on to quickly to Kelly. For Kelly bag, as I say, this is a Kelly 25. I do own a Kelly 28, and I've also carried the bigger size Kelly. The key, similar to the Birkin, the Kelly 28, I would say, is a very classic size. It's a size that, regardless of whether it's a big bag or small bag trend, it will not go out of style. It's a much more proportionate bag, a much bigger bag in that sense. So if you are the type that wants to put in more stuff, if you want to carry more stuff and you want a bag that is more classic looking, regardless whether it's big bag trend or small bag trends, Kelly 28 is for you. I will post a photo. I did not actually bring my Kelly 28 here because I don't want to clutter the table, but I will post a photo with a rodeo that I hang on, and you'll be able to clearly see the difference between a Kelly 25 and 28. My Kelly 25 is actually in Togo leather, gold hardware, and it's also in the Retourne style, which means that it's actually outside piping and not the stitching. So it's an inside stitching which turns over so that you can see the piping. As I mentioned earlier, all Kelly bags actually comes with the sling. That to me is an advantage of the Kelly, given that I'll be able to go hands-free by slinging it on. Or if I really want to, I can actually carry it top handle. As you can see, as I carry the Kelly bag top handle, this is a Kelly 25. It goes very comfortably to the crook of my arms, and I can even swing it. So this sits very comfortably. Just now I mentioned that, as I showed you, a Kelly 25, as I go into the bag, it doesn't fall very nicely at the crook of my arm, and it's a little tight also because I may be more meaty. Of course, if you have a smaller elbow arm, you would not have this issue. Versus like a Kelly 30, a Birkin 30, I did mention that it will sit very comfortably at the crook of my arm. As you can see, as I carry the Kelly 25, it would be very similar to how it would have feel like if this is a Birkin 30, where it would just fit so comfortably at the crook of my arm. So the good thing about Kelly is even at the 25 size, which is actually a small size, it actually is very comfortable to actually hang over it, goes at the crook of my arm, or it even enables me to sling because of this the back sling that comes in. Between the 25 and 28, I just want to mention about the 28. I would say that my first Kelly bag was a 28, and then I ventured into other sizes, and subsequently this is the recent one that I got, which is a 25. The reason why I decided to get a 25, of course, now 25 is trend and it looks really cute. And really, the biggest reason why is that I realize I'm not carrying a lot. So a lot of when I use the Kelly 28, as I put things in, things actually swim in the bag. And when I say swim, it includes even if I put the bag organizer, I have tons of things, tons of space in there. The good thing about the Kelly 28 is after I put in my Kelly, the standard classic size wallet, it fits perfectly in that bag. There's still a lot of room. I can even put an umbrella, I can put my notebook, I can put my water bottle, and so on. Versus the Kelly 25, I won't be able to put much less. However, the fact that I choose the Retourne style, which is actually a softer leather style, it enables me to even put my Kelly wallet, the standard classic size wallet, I'm able to put it in the Kelly 25. Yep. So I know that's could be one of the key questions where for a lot of people whether you can put your long wallet in. If you're having the Birkin wallet, no problem. Even the Kelly wallet, which is much longer, no issue with putting it in. Though I must say it actually fits almost exactly on the Kelly 25, so you wouldn't have additional space in the bag. I mean additional space as in the width versus a Kelly 28. By the side, there will still be a lot of space, but not for the Kelly 25. But you can actually put that in. And this is also the reason why I decided to choose the Retourne style versus the Sellier style, because if you decide to go with the Sellier 25, you would not be able, and I say a very clear, would not be able to fit a classic size wallet. You have to change that to a compact size wallet. Okay. To me, the Kelly 25 Retourne actually fits most of my essentials. And hence, now between the 25 and 28, the 25 works the best for me, given I will be able to fit everything I need, my wallet, two handphones, which is my personal phone, the work phone. I can put my sunglasses, I can put an umbrella in, and I can put a small bottle of water in as well. Not an issue at all. I can put my hand sanitizers, some makeups. All this can be squeezed in this small little bag. So even though it's a small bag, it is actually very functional. The the thing between a Sellier as well as the Retourne, if you have decided that you want on a particular size and you wanted to decide whether you choose a Retourne or a Sellier, the I think the common consensus is the Sellier actually moves. I know a lot of people say that it's more formal. I wouldn't use the word formal because to me, I think the fact that I get a black color bag or a black color bag with a gold hardware, it looks pretty formal versus say another color as you can see here. So imagine even if this is a Kelly in Sellier, but a different color, a bright colors, it will surely look less formal versus say a black color bag versus with a gold hardware. But the Sellier styles, maybe the right terminology that I would prefer to use is that the Sellier styles looks more dressy and more girly in that sense. So if you're the type that likes to dress up, you may actually like the Sellier style better. Um, yeah, sorry. Um, but if you actually prefer a more casual look, you may like a Retourne style better. And again, this is just generalization because for me, I'm actually wearing more dresses, and I would say I'm a more dressy type in that sense versus a very casual type. But I still decided that I would pick the Retourne But I'm very clear that I want the black and the gold hardware because the color to me would enable it to look dressy and formal in that sense. And as I wear it like this, you can still see that it doesn't look casual at all. It still looks quite formal, and it can still be dressy in that sense. Though, of course, if I compare apples to apples with a black and gold, with a Sellier styles, then definitely that would still look an age more formal and dressy. I For me, if you are the type that really just wants to go for the more structured look, I know there are people who really like a structured bag. The Sellier style is for you, but do know that the Sellier style will carry less. And when I say less, it's not just a little less, but much less. And also the fact that the Sellier style bag, unless it's a special order, the standard leather for a K28 is actually absent. So that leather is actually quite hard. So that means that opening and closing wood of the bag is actually much more difficult. For this, as I open and close, it's actually quite easy. It's actually very easy because there's nothing that pushes against, given that the leather, this is a Togo leather, so it's not a stiff leather. So this to me is the biggest advantage. The fact that it can fit more. The fact that I do prefer Togo leather versus Epson. I'm okay to trade in with the fact that it may be less structured, and it may not be as dressy as a Sellier bag. So again, it depends on your lifestyle. If you're someone who wants to fit more into your bag, if you're someone who prefer a much more softer leathers, if you're someone who may be okay or would prefer a much more casual look, if you are someone who may be concerned with the corners, and the Sellier has a much more sharp corners, and if you are the type that just wants to have something that enables you to expand and so on. The Retourne bag is for you. To me, this bag can transition from day to night pretty easily, not an issue. If you are the type that really wants structure, you don't mind to trade in with the amount of stuff that you put in, you don't mind that you may have some challenges in opening and closing the bag, and you just like to have that look, then go for the Sellier. I would have, if you ask my personal opinion, to be honest, I prefer the look of the Sellier than the Retourne. That is surely the thing. But I know very sure that if I've been offered, if I can do a special order and I can get a K28 Sellier, maybe in chef leather, I would go for that. That would be my dream bag, which I already told my essays. So hopefully I will get a chance to do a special order next time. But given that it's an absent leather for a standard Sellier bag, I'm actually more, I'm more than inclined to actually stick with the Togo Retourne style. Okay. I know now back to the final question, like if you decide between a Birkin 30 or K28, or you have or between a Birkin 25 and a K28, what I would choose. I think earlier I did mention that between a Birkin 30 and 25, Birkin 25 for me, between a K28 and K25, at least for now, K25 is the right size for me. But between these two bags, if I'm going to pick one, which one will I choose, whether I'm a Birkin girl or Kelly girl? I used to think that I'm always a Kelly girl because I like the former look of the Kelly. And the thing that I really like about the Kelly is it enables me to go hands-free. I can carry it. plus the fact that I can actually close it, so it's actually much more secure. But ever since I started using the Birkin 25, I fell in love for it. It sort of converted me to be a Birkin lover. However, if I'm going to just pick one, and I only have a choice of one bag between a Birkin and a Kelly, I think I would still go for a Kelly, given that it's more versatile. I can actually go and hold it and make it look formal. I can actually wear it casual. I have the sling bag. I can actually close it. So, given all this, I think the Kelly 25 actually is much more versatile bag. Though, I must say that Birkin is actually much cuter. Birkin 25 can definitely hold much more than a Kelly 25. So if I really need to hold much more, I think I will go with a Kelly 28 versus the Birkin 25 in that sense. So to me, a Kelly bag is actually much more versatile in that sense, though I really now love the look of Birkin 25. And between a Sellier or a Retourne, given whatever things that's actually available in store, I would pick Retourne, and that's the reason why I told my essay specifically I want a Kelly 25 Retourne style. I think she was surprised. She thought that the way that I'm always very dressy, I'll go for Sellier. But I told her that I would want a Sellier if this is in chef leather. So again, it all depends on the leather. If I get a special order, I would then choose the Kelly 25 in chef. But if it's something that is just off the boutique, then to me, then definitely Kelly 25 Togo leather return style is the bag for me. But well, and I'm just saying that if I really get to choose one bag, but for ladies, for girls, we always say that we will just have that one bag, and that bag will be the bag that we use forever. But we all know this is not true. When you have one, you want the second one, and you have the third one. So again, if you ask Roton or Sele, I would say, we need both. And Kelly or Birkin, I think August needs both. Don't you think so? Uh, but yeah, I hope this video is useful. Maybe for your first bag to for you to consider your first bag, and I'm pretty sure once you get your first bag, you would likely look for more, and of course, that's where you can then decide and slowly get both bags as well as the different sizes and the different styles depending on how many bags you're going to get. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Sorry that this is a pretty long video. I hope that you guys actually would enjoy it. Leave a comment.